All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who I learned this truth from, and I'd like to say peace and salutations unto the hopefully elect. And today I just want to go into a couple articles, and then bring out a couple of scriptures. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying and straight to the point. This first article I have is from Al Jazeera, and the title reads, Several Teachers Killed in Pakistan School Shooting. Says another teacher from the same school was gunned down on the road in a separate attack earlier in the day in Quran. It says, gunmen have stormed a school in Pakistan's volatile northwest, killing several teachers and gunning down another teacher from the school in a separate attack, according to officials in Quran, a district in the northwestern Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province that borders Afghanistan. A group of gunmen on Thursday stormed a government school where students were taking exams. The Associated Press reported that several teachers killed. The Associated Press reported that several teachers killed were members of Pakistan's minority Shia community, which is frequently targeted by fighters. Another teacher from the same school, a Sunni Muslim, was gunned down on the road in a separate attack earlier in the day in Quran, according to local police official Abbas Ali. No one immediately claimed responsibility for the attacks, and Ali said it was not clear if they were linked. We are looking into all aspects, and so far we have no idea who killed the teachers, he said. The Prime Minister condemned the attacks on the teachers and ordered a probe into the killings. Al Jazeera's Kamal Haider reporting from Islamabad said the gruesome incident took place in an area that has witnessed in the past sectarian violence between Shia and Sunni tribes. Most of the teachers who were killed belong to the Turi Shia tribe, Haider said. The tribal district contains a majority of Shia population who are often attacked by by armed groups, as part of the local Taliban movement. This particular attack targeted the teachers while they were in the staff room. They were there to conduct examinations, which are underway throughout the province They were there to conduct examinations which are underway throughout the province for lower secondary school, he said. The circumstances have remained mysterious, as not many people were able to see what had transpired, how many attackers were involved, or what their motives were, he said. So yes, it's pretty much all I'm going to read. So pretty much, several teachers were killed, in Pakistan, in a school shooting, which took place, earlier today. And again, I'm going to go into this article as well. Another, so-called mass shooting. This from CNN. Says at least 8 dead as circulated. 1990s, and yes, that's all I'm going to read on that. So pretty much, again, Serbia and Pakistan were pretty much hit with mass shootings. Serbia getting hit, with mass shooting, 2 days back to back, one by a 13-year-old boy and another by a 21-year-old man. So I'm going to start in the book of Matthew, chapter 24, and this is verse 12, and it says, "And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold." So pretty much that's what's happening in the time that we're in. The love of many people, is waxing cold. You're going to hear about more and more people being put to death, in these various fashions by other people. And these mass shootings is just one of many examples, to come. But this is ultimately judgment from the Lord that is being poured out upon these people. Then I'm going to go to the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 39, and verse 28, and it says, "There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions and serpents and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. They shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is, and when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word." And yes, ultimately, the people that performed these shootings, ultimately, again, there were spirits that were created for vengeance, that pretty much did what they were programmed to do, when their time came, they pretty much, had the wrath of the Lord on them, and they put, those particular people to death, even injure some, because again, they were spirits that were created, for vengeance, and that's pretty much what the Lord is doing. He's pouring out His Spirit upon the earth. He's sending out these death angels, to put the wicked to death, So I'm going to go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30, verse 6, and it says, "Ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness? Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it." And yes, these things that are happening, are pretty much leading up to the time of Jacob's trouble, because, during that time, there will be no, police, there will be no ambulances, all hell is going to break loose, no one is pretty much going to get the help that they need, these first responders, they aren't going to respond to these emergencies because, one, they won't be getting paid, because once the system collapses, once the American dollar, is worthless, completely worthless, and the money is digital, they're going to have to, pretty much face that choice, just like the entire world, primarily here in America, is going to have to face that choice to, get Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, get the mark of the beast, which is the RFID CHIP, to get that tiny device and plant it in their hand or in their heads or be put to death, but ultimately only the elect are going to resist this man's mark. But again, these are the things that's leading up to this particular time, because Jacob's trouble is going to be a very, very bad time. It's going to be the worst time upon this earth, you know, which again, as always, I have to bring out the book of Daniel, chapter 12, and verse 1, and it says, "At that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, such as was never since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book." And yes, again, as it says, it's going to be so bad that, Michael the archangel is going to have to step in on behalf of the elect of the nation of Israel, to help deliver them from the trouble to come, because it's going to be that bad. It's going to be a very, very terrible time upon this earth in the very near future. I'm going to go to the book of Second Esdras, chapter 15. I'm going to start at verse 14, and it says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city, and shall not be able. For because of their pride the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and the men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread for great slakia and for great tribulation." So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Kakwadash. I'd like to give double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who I learned this truth from, and I'd like to say peace and salutations unto the hopefully elect. Till the next time I see you, Shalom.